lives on our behalf. So for example, that might be Anzac Day or Remembrance Day, where we pause and we just take a moment to honour them. And this is very much the same thing, but the difference is, the defining factor is Jesus didn't just sacrifice his life, but he rose again. And we also come around communion to remember the resurrection.
Yes.
So in my quiet time a couple of weeks ago, I got a little bit hung up on this verse in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2. And I was reading NIV, and I think we had that coming up on the screen, which would be great because I actually don't have it in front of me. It said this: fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. I just put a big question mark over scorning its shame. I don't know about you, but I haven't recently had anyone scorn me, or at least not to my face. So I did a quick Google search on what does scorning mean, and if we can go to the next image, I found some synonyms. I had to practice saying that because I kept saying synonym, and it just made me think of donuts. So, synonyms: express contempt, disdain, despise, reject, resent, defy. If we can go back to the verse, please, Katie. If Jesus resented its shame, was there a part of Jesus that resented dying for me? I really got hung up on this, and I thought, like, Jesus, you're all in for me, 100% in for me. You took it all on the cross. So I dug a little bit deeper, and I found another translation which actually said, despising the shame. Or if you go to the Greek, it just says, despising shame. Yeah. Shame itself. Jesus did die a humiliating death. Roman crucifixion was an incredibly shameful way for someone to die. But Jesus didn't just die a man's shameful death. He died for the shame of mankind and all humanity.
Yeah.
This is the way I read this verse now. Jesus, for the joy set before him, endured the cross. He took my sin. He died for my shame and every part of my suffering, while at the same time fighting with a vengeance, with a hatred, the shame that would so often convince me that I do not have the right to what Jesus died for me on the cross to have. It belongs to me, and he knows so often shame is the thing that talks us out of it.
Yeah.
So, what do we do about it? And how does this relate to communion? I think the answer's up in this verse too. Fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. I recently heard Bill Johnson say, how do we magnify the Lord? We can't make him any greater. He's God. But the thing is, when we magnify God, when we exalt him as higher than our circumstances, higher than sin and higher than shame, it magnifies him in our own life. It fixes my eyes on him, and what I fix my eyes on, I follow. That's the thing that takes priority in my life. I'm not putting my faith in my shame or my sin or my circumstances which Jesus took for me on the cross. My faith is in Jesus. So to give a fresh perspective, I'm actually going to bring some thoughts to you this afternoon that I put together in a poem. And then if you're holding onto your little juice and your cracker, we're going to pray on the other side of this. The game of shame is it aims to put the blame on me. And it is a game, because it wants to frame God's chosen to pay the penalty for a sin that has already been paid for with a holy and a pure price. But shame declares me dirty and whispers, he'll never get it right. It can't be done. You're too far gone. You're not enough. You're not that strong. It's a master at bluff, and it is full of lifeless breath. It is a gamer and a joker and a jester at best. It toys with my emotions and says, my feelings are the sun. I try to block him out, don't listen, just be numb. But he comes back full swing and my ears are ringing. I blink back tears and my eyes are stinging. But the joke is on you, shame. You claim that I'm just trivial and I am nothing more than dust. You think I am just consumed with things that rot and end in rust. You can't handle who you are, so you try to pin it down on me. You call it my sin, my shame, it's my penalty. You might not call it fair that I don't wear the consequence, but there is a judge who names me blameless, and he stands in my defense. See, shame, the joke is on you, because I am not worth it, and I don't deserve it, but knowing that he loved me still, and he died for this sinner's death on a criminal's hill. You call me broken, you call me dirty, but he has called me whole, and he has named me worthy. I refuse to wear your rags when he has robed me in righteousness. I bought your lies once, but now I confess, you no longer get to write this story. I'm giving the real author all of the glory, and that is Jesus Christ, the author and the perfecter of my faith. I fix my eyes on him, and in him I run my race. Shame, you've had your shot, and you've knocked me to the ground. But you can join me on my knees, because in surrender I am found. And we will give him honor and glory as we worship on this floor, for every knee shall bow, and tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord.
Woohoo!
If you are able, and it's on your heart to do this through communion, I'd love you to join me on your knees. It is just representation.